Kind of late to the party, but I'm going to be discussing today why I think Pereira beat Ankalaev so easily the second time instead of how the first fight went. So, for starters, the pace was completely different. The first fight, Pereira's backing up, seems a little bit more timid, maybe worried about a takedown. And as the fight goes on, he got more concerned with the striking. He focused too much on leg kicks, not enough on his boxing, which he clearly showed he was better than. I mean, he boxes all the time. You see all the sparring videos he has where he's just pure boxing sparring. I don't know if his hands was injured this fight or whatever the case was. Said his toe or something was broken. Something was not right with him that first fight, if I remember correctly. I made prediction videos before this fight happened the second time, and I said, if Pereira comes out like a bat out of hell, pressures Ankalaev against the fence, but I predicted that he wouldn't do that because usually when fighters get a little older, they start to get more and more timid and their young aggressive self starts to dimmer down. And I was completely wrong. This is probably the most aggressive Pereira we had seen yet. In this fight, he came straight for Ankalaev. He used his lead hand to measure distance to see if he was in kicking range. Also, if Ankalaev was going to move forward at all, he kind of used it like a little stick in between him and Ankalaev so he can kind of understand if Ankalaev's coming in for some strikes or coming in for a takedown. It also let him know that if he was in boxing range or not. He knew what shots he could land. And Ankalaev panicked. The first fight, Pereira let Ankalaev get into the groove, let Ankalaev control the pace, and Ankalaev got comfortable. But in the second fight, Pereira came straight to Ankalaev, and Ankalaev has to respect it because he knows Pereira could put him out at any time he wants if he does catch him. There wasn't a whole lot that happened in the second fight because of that. Ankalaev panicked and he had no answer. He started to spam teeps because he needed that distance. He don't want Pereira that close at all. Nobody does. And Pereira just ate him and kept moving forward. Almost reminds me of when Masvidal came back from that hiatus and said, I'm just going to start finishing people. That was Pereira in the second fight. I'm just going to go out there and finish him. No respect. None of the points, none of the picking apart with the legs. I'm just going out there and putting him away. And that's what he needed to do against somebody like that. Somebody less experienced with the kickboxing, someone a little more timid on the feet. That's what people call for a lot of times when strikers go against grapplers is because they know grapplers, they're tough and hardy, but on the feet they tend to be more timid than people who've been kickboxing and are more seasoned to that environment. But it is difficult to do when you don't know how to deal with the takedowns in the sense of when you're moving forward and the grappler's good at timing takedowns and they'll time the takedown on you like you'll time a shot on someone moving in on you. Pereira negated that in a way that he always had Ankalaev at the same distance that he wanted him at, to where it was enough time for him to react if Ankalaev did shoot a takedown or if Ankalaev decided to throw strikes instead. He kept him at his distance that he wanted him at. Whereas in the first fight, it seemed more like he wanted to keep distance instead of pressuring forward and maintain a certain distance while pressuring forward. He wanted to back up and keep distance away from him, from Ankalaev. There's a difference between pressuring somebody but still wanting to keep a certain distance between you and that person versus you retreating in a sense to keep distance because you don't want them getting close. At that point, you're not in charge of the decision to be at a distance that you're comfortable with. You have to be the one pressuring to be in charge of that most of the time. Again, late to the party, but this is something that I wanted to talk about and I wanted to get off my chest because I had just watched both fights recently. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.